Yo, did you all see that chapter? Chapter 290. You must have at this point, because it's all over social media, it's all over Twitter. It's even one of the highest trending topics at the moment on Twitter. It's crazy. Now, before I start talking about this is your first and final warning. We are going to be talking about massive spoilers when it comes to My Hero Academia, especially because we're going to be talking about the latest reveal in chapter 290. Now, this wasn't a big plot twist, not in the slightest. This wasn't a revelation. Most of the My Hero Academia fandom has known Dabi was a Todoroki, and such a huge chunk of that fandom has made more than enough theories on why Dabi is a Todoroki. Now, we've known, okay? But that doesn't mean that it wasn't incredible, because it's not about the plot twist, it's about the impact it has on the story from here on out. It hasn't been built up to be this giant revelation of, oh, Dabi is a Todoroki, but if you think about the characters around it, this is going to have a major impact on how everyone handles the situation. Now, just to go over what exactly happened in the chapter, and if you haven't seen or read the chapter yet, I definitely recommend you to do so. Go on social media, check out some scans that have been translated by fans, and just see for yourself what you think of it. So basically what happens, right, is Dabi stands across from the Todoroki, so Endeavour and Shoto, and he basically greets them. And so Endeavour responds and mentions his name, like, in the process, and Dabi responds to that, and he's like, don't call me Dabi because my name is Touya and it's a great name. So basically what he's doing here is he's revealing that he's a Todoroki. Now, back at the hospital, we can see that he's slowly explaining why he's doing these things, and he's basically justifying everything he has done up to this point. Like, he sits down and he starts explaining, like, you might have known that I have killed around 30 innocent people, and I'm gonna explain to you why exactly that is. And so he starts explaining why he is the way that he is, and presumably what went down in his and Endeavor's past. Now, back at the standoff between the Todoroki family, basically, we can see that Dabi is kind of making fun of them. He's kind of mocking them in a way by saying that, hey, my name has changed, but even though my name has changed and my face is scarred up, my own family should have recognized that it is me, Touya Todoroki. And so, as the cherry on top, basically, he removes his hair dye, revealing that his hair wasn't actually black, but white. And I mean, at this point, can you just imagine being in Shoto's shoes, now knowing that one of the persons that has been messing with his entire class, or even the entire Hero Foundation, and the one who kidnapped one of his best friends, Bakugo, turned out to be his own brother? Like, that has to be messed up. Because from what it looks like, it seems like Dabi's about to go crazy, and for all we know, maybe he's about to attack them. And can you just imagine? There's no way Todoroki is going to be able to fight his own brother. Normally, I wouldn't be so sure, but if you look at the face on Todoroki, and even Endeavor's when he reveals that, it's crazy. You have to imagine, we have known this for a while, but even if it hasn't been the biggest plot twist for us because of all of our theories, for Todoroki and Endeavour, this has such a huge impact. And as we all expected, Dabi was heavily mistreated and abused by Endeavour, and so he ends up exposing how gruesome of a past he has, if that's what he's explaining. Again, we already kind of knew this, but it isn't about the twist, it's about how big of an impact this is gonna have on the story going forward. Because this also brings up a moral question. I've seen many people on Twitter talk about how the actions of the League of Villains is justified because of their past, or at least that it's understandable compared to what Endeavour has done, especially because he doesn't have a good motivation at all. And I'm not saying that revenge is a really good motive or a really good reason, or that it's justified, but I am saying that I've seen a lot of people say that. Because now that it has come to light what Endeavour has done, and now that it is revealed how disgusting his past behavior was and what he has done, will people end up relating to Dabi or justifying what Dabi is doing just because of what he has done in the past? The way he is talking about it, the way Dabi himself is explaining it, really sounds like he's just justifying what he's doing by saying, like, hey, look at what happened, I'm doing all these things because of that. What Dabi ends up saying and revealing to the Todoroki family is that he just wants to make his father's life a living hell. And kinda understandably so, if you think about what Endeavour has caused him and the entire family just because of his own motives. He's explaining how the actions he has taken were for a big part fueled and driven by just his hate for his father and what he did to them. It's really crazy to think about, especially if you keep the next chapter in mind and what shit's about to go down. I seriously cannot wait until we are finally gonna get to see this moment animated. It might take a really long time, but I really hope we'll get to see it. Especially if there's just some crazy shit about to go down, I cannot wait for it. The biggest question I have for now though is again the question of morality. Like, Is this going to be justified? Are people going to relate to Dabi and say that his actions are justified by what has happened? And that's also a question I have for everyone watching this right now. Do you think that the League of Villains is just as bad as Endeavour or worse? Or do you think what Endeavour has done in his past is just too bad to look past? Be sure to let me know if you have an opinion on this, because I love arguing and discussing these kind of things. Yeah, I'm just so glad we finally got this reveal, because it has been crazy so far. In my opinion, that we could kind of see this coming doesn't matter. In the end, it was still a crazy reveal. Yeah, now we're just gonna have to wait for the next chapter. But in the meantime, I've got some videos coming up. I'm currently working on a Detroit Smash video. If you don't want to miss out on that, make sure to hit that subscribe button also for the good anime content to come. And if you liked the video, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you guys all next time.